What's going on, everybody? Welcome to 4th and 25 with J Ram, a college football show, college football podcast, whichever you like to call it. Hope you're having a wonderful day out there. Hope you're staying safe and enjoying November as we are rolling in fall. And we're hitting the final home stretch of the season. We got 5 weeks to go. And it's getting down to crunch time here in college football. Coaches getting fired, playoff push, bowl push, all that good stuff. So welcome in. Got a packed show today, so we need to get on the road. All right, let's get started with our usual traditional, the weekend review. All right, guys, what a weekend in college football it was. Another weekend in the books. Let's take a look at week 10 review. Let's talk about some games. Did you see what happened in Clemson, South Carolina? Holy cow, did not see this coming. Duke 46, Clemson 45. Duke drives down at the end, scores a touchdown after a controversial pass interference penalty that set up this winning score. Duke goes for two, converts it, wins the game 46-45. Wild game. Duke's 15-game losing streak at Clemson comes to an end. They have won 2 straight in this series. Nice win for Coach Manny Diaz and the Blue Devils. 2 straight in this series. Mensah throws for 361 and 4 touchdowns. Has a hell of a game for Duke at quarterback, 27 to 41. Wide receiver Cooper Barquette had 127 yards through the air, catching and a touchdown. Duke goes for it 5 times on 4th down, converts every single one of them. Clemson outgained Duke in every statistical category, but they just didn't win the game. 17 combined penalties, so maybe a little sloppy game. No defense. Clemson's 3-5. That's insane. One of my 2 teams I had in the national championship preseason, and this happens. This shows you how we know nothing. We just guess. Great win for Duke, though. They get it done on the road, 46-45 over Clemson. All right, next up, we're actually staying in the ACC. Did you see what happened in Dallas? I should have seen this coming. SMU 26, Miami 20, overtime. What a ball game. Carson Beck throws 2 costly interceptions, one of them in overtime. 2 losses for Miami, both. He throws 6 combined picks in those 2 games. Makes crucial mistakes. And here we go again, typical Miami, collapsing late. Kevin Jennings of SMU throws for 365 and a touchdown, has a great game. Jordan Hudson of SMU, 136 receiving yards. Amon Moses, the DB at SMU, 2 interceptions, 15 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. But he picked off Carson Beck both times. You know, he is probably haunting Carson Beck's nightmares. But SMU, great win for Rhett Lashley and his program. Great bounce back from the Wake Forest loss. Still scratch my head on that one. Miami had 12 penalties in this game. SMU, 4. And Miami has 12. SMU wins the game despite 23 rushing yards. They had 23 rushing yards the whole game, and they get it done in overtime. Great win for the Mustangs, 26-20. And Miami is in trouble. Here comes that Miami collapse that we all expected now. I had a feeling. That's why I wasn't so high on Miami. But anyway. All right, next up, let's go to Denton, Texas. North Texas 31, Navy 17. Great win for the Mean Green in American Athletic Conference play. Navy's 10-game winning streak has come to an end. Caleb Hawkins of North Texas, what a game for this young man. He runs for 197 yards, 4 touchdowns, 6 yards per carry, has a great game. The quarterback, Drew Missmaker, still throws for 234. Total yards, 424 to 391, North Texas' favor. Navy, uncharacteristic, 8 penalties for the midshipmen. North Texas only 4. But North Texas' offense was too much. Navy just could not capitalize, could not finish. North Texas gets it done, though. Big win here. And you got a 6-way tie at first place in the American right now. It's wild. And these are 2 of the contenders. But North Texas gets it done here, 31-17. All right, next up, we're going to go, staying in Texas, let's go to Austin. Don't let the score this one fool you. Texas 34, Vanderbilt 31. This game was 34-10 entering the fourth quarter in favor of the Longhorns, and it seemed like they were in control. But Vandy makes a late run, 21-0 run. Unfortunately, they could not get the onside kick, and that leads to the win for the Longhorns. Arch Manning, good game, 328, 3 touchdown passes. Maybe it's just me. Kudos to Sark. I'm sure he's had a lot to do with this, but Arch Manning's getting better. The last couple of weeks, I've noticed that he's playing a lot better. So beware. Colin Simmons, linebacker, had 1.5 tackles for loss. He had a big sack and a fumble recovery, too, for the Longhorns. Texas outrushed Vandy 100-58, so not a great rushing day for either team. But Texas in total yards, 428, Vandy 423, 17 combined penalties. Not a very pretty game penalty-wise, but pretty close game. Vanderbilt makes a good run at the end, but just comes up short. Texas could have blown them out, but Vandy made a good run there toward the end. Final score, though, Texas 34, Vanderbilt 31. All right, next up, appreciate the 2 loves. I don't know who that was, but thank you guys. All right, next up, let's go pay some homage to our Service Academy brothers. Army 20, Air Force 17. This was a good game on CBS. Army hits the game-winning field goal at the end to take it out. That's 3 straight wins over Air Force. They have won 7 of the past 9 in this series. First 3-game winning streak for Army against Air Force since 1976 through 78 when they won 3 straight. Army quarterback Cale Helms those for over 100 plus, a touchdown, 98 rushing and a touchdown. Army outrushed Air Force 193 to 174. Kind of surprising because usually you would think these two teams would run for more than that. But big key factor here, Air Force turns the ball over 3 times. You're not going to win many football games when you turn the ball over 3 times at all. A good win for Army. They get it done 20-17. All right, let's move on to the Big 12 and this game. Arizona State 24, Iowa State 19. Kenny Dillingham's team gets him a win. Iowa State has lost 4 in a row. Matt Campbell being rumored for some jobs, and he's got a team on a 4-game loser streak. Arizona State quarterback Jeff Sims comes in. Sam Levitt is out for the year with an injury for the Sun Devils, unfortunately. Sims, though, 177 through the air and a score, but the key factor here was the rushing game. Jeff Sims, 228 yards on the ground, 7 yards a carry, 7.1 a carry, 2 touchdowns, phenomenal game, looking like he did when he was running the option at Georgia Tech. But anyway, 228 yards rushing for the quarterback, 2 scores, 177 through the air and a score. Arizona State D lineman Justin Wadley, 5 tackles, 4 solos, a sack. Third downs, neither team was super great in this category. Arizona State 5 of 15. Iowa State, though, a bad 2 out of 14. Total yards, big difference here. Arizona State outgains them 467 to 336. And in the rushing game, Arizona State again 290 to 150. A great win for Kenny Dillingham's team. They make a 4th down stop late to put it away. And Arizona State gets the win on the road in Ames. All right, next up, a game that some of us thought could be a trap game or could be trouble. Nope. Louisville 28, Virginia Tech 16. Good win for the Cardinals on the road in Blacksburg. Isaac Brown, 130 yards rushing, 8.1 a carry, a touchdown. He unfortunately left this game in the 4th quarter with an injury. Looks like he's going to be out a while, so tough loss there for Louisville. TJ Quinn at linebacker, 10 total tackles, 4 solos, tackle for loss. He played well. Third downs, both not great. Virginia Tech 4 of 15, Louisville 4 of 11. Total yards, though, Louisville 371 to 240. Rushing yards, Louisville 235 to 164. Louisville run the football really good. And when Isaac Brown runs for 130, what do you expect? Great win here, Louisville. They are right there in the thick of the ACC title race. They're right there tied with Virginia, who has their only loss of the season. But this was a good win on the road for the Cardinals, and they get it done in Blacksburg, 28-16. Okay, let's move to the Big Ten. Another victim. Indiana murders another school. Final score, Indiana 55, Maryland 10. This was a beatdown. Shocker. Who's Indiana not beat down besides Iowa? Fernando Mendoza, of course, Heisman hopeful, 201 yards through the air, a score. He runs for 53. Amari Cooper Jr. of Indiana has 86 yards receiving and a touchdown. Indiana crushes them in total yards, 588 to 293. Rushing yards, Indiana 367 yards on the ground, and Maryland only 37 yards. So Indiana just total destruction again. Maryland 3 of 12 on third down. They turned the ball over 5 times. You're not going to beat a really good team when you turn the ball over 5 times. Time of possession, Indiana owned it here with 40 minutes and 22 seconds in ball control. Maryland only 19 minutes and 38 seconds. But another victim for the Hoosiers as they splatter the Terps 55 to 10. All right, next up, let's go to Boston. Hey, Aunt Helen, thank you for the compliment. All right, moving on to Boston. Notre Dame 25, Boston College 10. This was closer than I think we all expected it to be. Notre Dame did miss 3 field goals. Jeremiah Love had a great game. 17 carries for 136, 2 touchdowns, 8 yards per carry. Phenomenal game. He's been tearing it up. C.J. Carr, the talented Notre Dame quarterback, 299 through the air, 2 scores. Tay Johnson, their star safety, has 2 interceptions that helped lead to the win. Drake Bowen at linebacker, great game too. 14 tackles, a sack, 2 tackles for loss, plus he knocked a pass down. Notre Dame's defense came through pretty well and clutch in this football game. They outgained BC 458 to 281. BC had 9 penalties, Notre Dame 7 rushing yards. Notre Dame 159, which 136 of that was Jeremiah Love, but Notre Dame held Boston College to 12 yards rushing. So great job by the Irish defense, allowing 12 yards rushing, only 281 total. And like I say, Tay Johnson, their safety, had 2 interceptions. But the Irish get it done 25 to 10, the final score. All right, let's go to another game that I thought was going to be much closer. I was wrong. Texas Tech gets it done on the road in Manhattan. Impressive win for the Red Raiders, 43 to 20 over Kansas State. Jacoby Williams, Texas Tech star running back, 135 on the ground. He finds the end zone. Caleb Douglas, 82 yards receiving, 2 scores. Texas Tech DB Bryce Pollock got him a pick and 5 tackles. Texas Tech outgains Kansas State 436 to 325. Kansas State went for it 4 times on 4th down and did not convert a single one. Shout out to the Red Raiders defense. Kansas State 5 turnovers, Texas Tech 2. But Kansas State turned the ball over 5 times. You're not going to win any football games more than 99% of the time when you turn the ball over 5 times. Big win for the Red Raiders. They move on. They got BYU Saturday top 10 showdown. College Game Day is going to be there. And, of course, we will pick that game here in a little while. All right, next up, let's head to the cocktail party. Georgia 24, Florida 20. Dogs hang on and win another close one. Kudos to Florida. They played hard. They just didn't quite come through. Gunnar Stockton, 223 through the air, 2 scores. Zachariah Branch had 112 yards receiving. Georgia outgains Florida 361 to 281. Third downs, Georgia 7 out of 15, Florida 2 of 11, 12 combined penalties. There was a controversial call that was not ruled a catch that went in Georgia's favor that probably should have been a catch, depending on who you ask. But it is what it is. Georgia hangs on, gets the W, 24-20. Georgia continuing to live on the edge, but still a really good football team. They get it done 24-20 in the cocktail party. All right, next up, a game that I had ever any expectations of talking about, but it was actually a good game and a trap game. Virginia on the road at Cal. Final score: Virginia 31, Cal 21. The Wahoos 8-1. Shout out to Tony Elliott. What a job he's doing at Virginia. Chandler Morse throws for 262, runs for 38. Jamar Taylor, 105 yards rushing, a score. Cam Robertson, the really good linebacker for Virginia, 6 total tackles, half a sack, tackle for loss, and a pick 6 that helped contribute to the Virginia victory. Third downs, Virginia 10 of 19, a pretty solid. Cal 3 of 12. Total yards 456 to 263 Virginia. Cal's offense is terrible, as we all know. Rushing yards 194 to 8. Cal had 8 yards rushing this whole football game. Boy, do they miss Jaden on. But anyway, 194 to 8 in the rushing yards. Virginia dominates. Cal turns it over twice and gives up 3 sacks. And Virginia keeps on winning and stays atop the ACC. Nice job. All right, next up, we'll head to the SEC again. The streak is over. Mississippi State has won an SEC game. Ironically, it's the team that they last beat in an SEC game a couple years ago. Final score, Mississippi State 38, Arkansas 35 in Fayetteville. This game was crazy. Arkansas had a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter. Mississippi State rallies back to win it. Shout out to Jeff Levy and his team. They get their first conference win. First one under him. Last time they won an SEC game, like I said, was 2023 against Arky. Blake Shapen throws for 242, two scores. Anthony Evans, 5 catches, 111, 2 touchdowns. Brendan Thompson also had 100 yards receiving. Nick Mitchell, 10 tackles, a sack, tackle for loss, played really well for the Dogs. Arkansas had 18 penalties alone. 18 penalties on them. You're not going to win any games probably with 18 penalties. That is just utterly pathetic. But Arkansas's 2-7, so what do you expect? Passing yards, Mississippi State 282, Arkansas 194. Very surprising a little bit. But shout out to Mississippi State. Congratulations to Jeff Levy. They get it done. Nice comeback. And they get their first SEC win since 2023. All right, next up, let's roll on to the big house. And a little closer, I think, than we all expected on this one. But Michigan gets it done over Purdue 21-16. Michigan relied on the running game as expected. That's their bread and butter, and it worked. It worked. Jordan Marshall, 25 carries, 185 yards, 7.4 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns. He has a great game running the ball. They outrushed Purdue 253 to 138. Barely beat them in the pass game, 145 to 138, but Michigan doesn't throw it a whole lot. Much closer than expected, but defense came through, though, for Michigan, too, at times. But they get it done, hanging on 21-16. All right, next up, let's keep it rolling. We are going to head to Oxford. Ole Miss gets it done over South Carolina, 30-14. Keywan Lacey, 167 yards rushing, a touchdown, 7 yards a carry. The star of this game was the Ole Miss defense. The Rebels defense holds South Carolina to 3 of 13 on third downs, only 230 yards, 6 sacks, and forces 3 turnovers. Ole Miss's defense was great in this game, phenomenal. I expected defensive regression from this team, and I'm an Ole Miss guy, as y'all know, but I didn't. But they didn't regress like I thought they would. Great job here. They get it done. They outgained South Carolina 417 to 230. Outrushed them 258 to 50. Good win. Rebels get it done 30-14. They'll host the Citadel this weekend. All right, next up. Another undefeated has fallen victim. NC State 48, Georgia Tech 36. Jackets' first loss of the season. Haynes King did not lose this game. He played well, but he couldn't do it on his own. C.J. Bailey, 340 yards passing, 2 scores, 34 rushing, and another score. Jaden Scott runs for 196 and a touchdown, 8.2 a carry for the Pack. Caden Fordham, the talented linebacker for NC State, 15 total tackles, 6 solos, half a sack, tackle for loss, and a big interception. NC State hung on to outgain them also 583 to 559. There was no defense in this game. The rushing game, NC State 243, Georgia Tech 151. The defense of Georgia Tech was the problem. They just could not stop them. It was NC State's night. Wolfpack get it done, though. Big win, 48-36, and the Jackets suffer their first loss of the season. All right, next up, let's keep it rolling to Nebraska. USC gets the win, though, 21-17 in this battle of, in my opinion, cool logos, but Nebraska, of course, was in the blackout unis. But USC gets it done 21-17. USC, known for their passing game, not tonight or not Saturday night. They relied on the running game. 135 yards. And an interception by Maivia was part of that. But King Miller shines on the ground. 129, a touchdown. 7.2 a carry. USC outgains them 337 to 286. Good road win for Lincoln Riley and the Trojans. They are right in the thick of everything, of their goals. All right, next up, let's head to what happened in Knoxville. Oklahoma 33, Tennessee 27. This was I did not see this coming. I thought Tennessee might would win this game, but I was wrong. John Mateer still showed flashes of the old John Mateer. 159 through the air, 80 rushing, touchdown. Sorry. Had a little back stretch there. Xavier Robertson, 115 rushing and a touchdown, 7.2 a carry. Owen Hikichi, OU linebacker, 13 total tackles, 5 solo, a sack, 1.5 tackles for loss. He shines on the Oklahoma defense. Oklahoma outgains Tennessee on the ground 192 to 63. Nice done by OU. Tennessee led all other categories, but they turned the ball over 3 times and gave up 4 sacks. Oklahoma's defense was clutch at times. Like I say, John Mateer looked like he was old self at times, but this was a big win for Brent Venables and the Sooners as they stay alive in the playoff race. Oklahoma 33, Tennessee 27. All right, we got 2 more games. If I can get my page thing to turn here. Yeah, we got 2 more games. 2 more games I want to just briefly go through. Did you see what happened in Auburn, Alabama? Oh boy, Kentucky 10, Auburn 3. This was tough to watch on the eyes for probably everybody. And if you were actually at this game, I feel sorry for you. But Kentucky's defense was the shining star here. 7 sacks. They forced 2 turnovers. 5 different players had at least a sack. Sam Graney, their linebacker, 7 total tackles, a sack, 2 tackles for loss, pass deflected. The offense was so bad in this game. The final offensive numbers was 241 to 240. It was terrible offensive football in this game. But 241, 240. But Kentucky's defense gets it done here. Auburn's offense is in shambles. And they also, of course, fired their coach. More on that in just a little bit. All right, one more game. Final score, Utah 38, Cincinnati 14. The Utes get it done in a primetime game that hosted College Game Day, by the way, in this ranked versus ranked clash. But Cincinnati obviously not quite ready for the prime spot. Devin Dampier looked like himself, 213, 2 scores through the air, runs for 78. Washawn Parker, Utah running back, 104 yards, 6.1 yards per carry, a touchdown. Ryan Davis, 8 catches, 132 and a score for Utah at receiver. Cincy had 8 penalties, turned the ball over 3 times. Utah outrushes Cincy 267 to 206. And in time of possession, Utah kept the football away from Cincy 40 minutes and 2 seconds. Cincinnati 1958. But great win for Kyle Whittingham's team, and they are right back in the chase of everything. Utah 38, Cincinnati 14. All right, next up, let's do our players of the week. Let's start with offense. My offensive players of the week, right here for you. Caleb Hawkins, running back of North Texas. Like we said, 33 carries, 197, 6 yards a carry, 4 touchdowns. Jeff Sims, the Arizona State quarterback, throws for 177 and a score, runs for 228 and 2 more scores. Skylar Bell, UConn receiver, what a game against UAB for him. 8 catches, 149, 3 touchdowns, 18.6 a catch. Liberty running back Evan Dickens, have not talked about him, against Delaware. 22 carries, 217 yards, 4 touchdowns, 9.9 yards per carry. He has a hell of a game running the football. We talked about Darren Mensow, the Duke quarterback, those for 361 and 4 scores in Duke's win over Clemson. Cornell Tate and Jeremiah Smith, the receivers at Ohio State against Penn State, had a good game. Tate, 5 catches, 124 and a score. Smith, 6 catches, 123 and 2 scores. Ohio State, best receiving tandem in the country. Then their quarterback, Julian Sayin, against Penn State, throws for 316 yards and 4 touchdowns. All right. Here's the rest of our offensive players of the week. Owen McCown of UTSA throws for 370 and 4 touchdowns in their win over Tulane this past Thursday night. Clay Thiven and Omar Wiggins, running backs of La Tech, they had a great game against Sam Houston. Thiven runs for 143 and 3 scores. Wiggins 136 and a score. Jordan Marshall, running back at Michigan, 25 carries, 185, 3 touchdowns, 7.4 a carry. And finally, Danny Scudero, I hope I said his name right, San Jose State receiver against Hawaii, 7 catches, 215, and 2 touchdowns. This cat shined. All right, defensive players of the week. Let's go over to the defense. Here we go. All right, Amon Moses, safety of SMU against Miami, 15 total tackles, 5 solo, 2 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions. He had a heck of a game. Cam Chadwick, Yukon DB, what a game for this man. 7 total tackles, 5 solos, a sack, tackle for loss, pass deflected, and 3 picks. The man had 3 interceptions alone for the Huskies in their win over UAB. Makart Abu Jaoud, defensive lineman, North Carolina, against Syracuse this past Friday. 6 total tackles, 2 solo, 2 sacks, 2.5 tackles for loss. Ohio State linebacker Arvell Reese against Penn State, 12 total tackles, 5 solo, a sack, 2.5 tackles for loss. Safety Fred Perry of West Virginia and their win over Houston, 13 total tackles, 9 solo, a sack, 2 tackles for loss. We talked about Caden Fordham, the NC State running back against Georgia Tech, 15 tackles, 6 solo, half a sack, tackle for loss, and a pick. Drake Brown, Notre Dame linebacker against BC, 14 total and solo tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, and a pass deflected. And then flip over here to our couple other guys. Linebacker Owen Hakeem of Oklahoma against Tennessee, 13 total tackles, 5 solo, sack, 4.5 tackles for loss. Arkansas State defensive end DeMarcus Hendricks, 7 total tackles, a solo, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 1 pass deflected. And Red Murdoch, Buffalo linebacker against Bowling Green last week, had a good game, 13 total tackles, 5 solo, a sack, and 1.5 tackles for loss. All right. Next up, let's do special teams players of the week. We've got Kian Aprokut, I can't say his name. Coastal Carolina kicker, 3 of 3, log of 42, made all his extra points, 14 points. Georgia punter Brett Thorson against Florida, 6 punts, 43-yard average, 3-1 inside the 20, log of 66. Texas Tech kicker Stone Harrington against Kansas State, 3 of 3 on his field goals, long of 55, 4 out of 5 on extra points, 13 points. Buffalo punter Dylan Drennan against Bowling Green, 7 punts, 48-yard average, 2 touchbacks, 3 inside the 20, long of 57. Oklahoma kicker Tate Sandell against Tennessee, 4 4 on his field goals, long of 55, made all 3 extra points, 15 points. Really good job kicking by him. Oliver Straw, West Virginia's punter against Houston, 6 punts, 45.8-yard average, a touchback, long of 55, Fresno State kicker Dylan Lynch has a good game against Boise, 3 of 3, long of 43, made all his extra points, and 12 points total. And then finally, our last two, punter A.J. Windsor of Oregon State against Wazoo, 10 punts, 43.7-yard average, 3 inside the 20, 20, long of 50, and then punt returner Mana Corvello for Utah against Cincinnati, 3 returns and a 75-yard touchdown. All right, guys, so that's our players of the week. Now let's go to J-Ram's updated top 25. So this is my poll. This ain't the playoff poll. We'll talk about the playoff poll here in just a minute, guys. So this is what I'm doing. Oh, I just realized something. All right. Just on the outside of my top 25, you've got San Diego State, who's 7-1, playing great. North Texas with the big one over Navy. They're lurking. Washington, just on the outside. They're at Wisconsin this week, I believe. James Madison, the sleeper of the G5 that I think is being severely overlooked. All right. Here's J-Ram's top 25. At 25, I still got Cincinnati. I dropped them down to here. Still a chance to redeem themselves, at least in my poll. Tennessee drops to 24. Hello, Iowa. Welcome to the top 25. You got a huge game Saturday with Oregon coming in. Memphis, 22nd. My G5 front runner right now. Michigan is 21st. I've got USC 20th. Utah finally is in my poll. Shouldn't have been in. I'm an idiot. But Utah's 19. Missouri 18. Miami 17. I dropped Vandy to 16. You see how far Miami dropped. Texas hangs at 15. I dropped Georgia Tech to 14. I probably got a little higher than everybody else, but we'll see. Oklahoma moves up to 13. The ACC tandem of Louisville at 12 and Virginia at 11. You got Notre Dame at 10. Texas Tech 9. BYU 8. I've got Ole Miss at 7. Oregon's my number 6. Georgia is 5. Alabama 4. Texas A&M is 3. Indiana 2. And Ohio State is still my number 1 team in the country in my top 25. All right, so that's my top 25. Now, let's do J-Ram's bottom 10, shall we? We're going to do this a little different. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. Bottom 10. waiting just for their chance. Purdue, Eastern Michigan, they're 2-7. Hard to believe Purdue was 2-0, I believe, at one time. All right, number 10 is Nevada at 1-7. The Pack were on a bye, so they spared their fans. Number 9 is Georgia State, who's 1-7. They were also on a bye. At least they spared their fans punishment. Boston College is my number 8 team in my bottom 10 at 1-8. I still think Bill O'Brien is the right guy here. Just got to give it time if that's possible. They are coming off the loss to Notre Dame. All right, moving on. Number 7, we've got, or number 6, I'm sorry, we've got two. We got a tie at 6. My preseason national championship teams, Clemson and Penn State, both are 3-5. The fall of these two is just baffling. Number 5 is Charlotte at 1-7. I know it's the Charlotte market, but tell me again why the American wanted this school. Oklahoma State at 4, who's 1-8. Not sure what the basketball team looks like, but hopefully baseball will bring you happiness, Cowboy fans. Number 3 is Middle Tennessee State. Nearly beat Jacksonville State, but another losing season is coming to Murfreesboro. Number 2, Sam Houston. Oh, sorry, my phone's over here vibrating. Number 2 is Sam Houston, 0-8. There's times where you play hard, but it's just tough times. And your home games aren't even at home. It's almost over, Bearcats fans. You've only got 4 more games. UMass, the worst team in the country, 0-8. Double-digit underdog at Akron this past Tuesday. That game was last night. Akron beat them 44-10. They made Akron a double-digit favorite for a change. Akron, they got smoked. It was 44-10 last night. So, actually, UMass is 0-9. I need to update that graphic. All right, so let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to do news and notes, and we're going to talk about the playoff rankings. The first playoff rankings are out. See you guys in just a minute. All right, guys, welcome back to 4th and 25 with J Ram. Hope you're having a good day. All right, so we put our weekend review behind us, and we've done our players of the week and our updated poll and my updated bottom 10 of 2. So now let's move into some news and notes, shall we? All right, guys, let's get to it. Our biggest story. Hugh Freeze has been fired from Auburn after 2+ seasons. This is not a big surprise. He finishes 6-16 in SEC play, 15-19 overall. Defensive coordinator DJ Durkin has been named the interim coach for the Tigers after this 10-3 loss to Kentucky on Saturday, where the offense looked putrid. Freeze will be owed $15.8 million in buyout money with no mitigation after he signed a 6-year deal to replace Brad Harsin in 2022. Hugh Freeze is the 8th Power 4 coach to be fired this season. That's just Power 4, so we'll do an updated list of coach firings next week for you guys if anybody else gets fired, but Hugh Freeze is out at Auburn. All right, a couple more news and notes real quick, and we're going to move on. Clemson fined $10,000 from the ACC for criticizing the officials for how they handled the Duke game. It's crazy what refs can do. You can get fined just for criticizing them, but they don't get nothing. Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola, broken fibula, out for the season. That is a tough break for the Huskers. We're still going to pick their game here in a little while. Purdue running back Devin Mockabee, out for the season, has ankle surgery. Alabama defensive end Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. suspended after weekend arrest. Ooh, interesting. Louisville running back Isaac Brown is out with a lower leg injury. We talked about that when we were breaking down their game against Virginia Tech a little bit ago. Unfortunately, it looks like he's out for the time being. Tough loss for Louisville. Indiana guard Drew Evans is out for his 2nd straight game. Also, Kent State. Let's see. Mark Carney, who was named the interim head coach last spring after they fired their coach, they have took the interim tag off of him. He is the new permanent head coach of Kent State football. So you want to be technical, we've already filled a coaching vacancy. Kent State's is filled. So congratulations to Mark Carney. Kent State is 3-5 on the season. They've won 2 MAC games, having their best year in a long time. They're at Ball State tonight. We won't pick that game, but that is tonight. Okay, next up. Well, the playoff poll is out. Here is the first college football playoff rankings. Let's talk about it for a minute, shall we? Tennessee at 25, not a big surprise. Pitt 24. Hello, Pitt. About time they get some respect. They're playing really well. Washington is 23. Good team. Missouri 22nd. We'll see what they do with the backup quarterback injured. They got A&M this weekend. That's obviously a monster game for them. Michigan hanging at 21st, still in the mix. Iowa at 20. I think this one kind of surprised some people, but Iowa's 6-2. They had a loss to Iowa State, and they gave Indiana a heck of a game. Indiana's closest game so far. I think it was a 5-point loss. So Iowa's at 20. USC at 19. They're not a bad team, so I'm not going to fuss at it. I mean, it is the first rankings. This is week 1. This is going to change, and I'm sure there's people has melted down and complained about this already last night. People have to remember, this is just the first poll. Miami drops to 18th after the SMU loss, or starts at 18th, I should say, because this is the first one. Georgia Tech 17, Vanderbilt 16. Not surprised. I think those are good spots. Louisville 15, Virginia at 14. Virginia, the highest ranked ACC team, and they're 14th. Interesting. Nothing against it. I just thought it was interesting. Utah. Look at Utah, 13th. Kyle Whittingham's team may not get to the Big 12 championship because their 2 losses are to those 2 teams you see up there at 7 and 8. But they can sneak their way into the at-large discussion. So keep an eye on Utah. They're 13. Oklahoma 12. Texas is 11. The first 2 out. Or, I think, yeah. Oklahoma's at 12. Texas 11. Notre Dame checks in at number 10. So Texas and Oklahoma would be the first 2 out if the playoffs started this weekend. But it doesn't. Notre Dame 10. You got Oregon at 9. I actually thought Oregon might be a little higher. But, oh well. And look at the Big 12. Texas Tech at 8, BYU at 7. They play each other Saturday. We'll pick that game here in a little bit. Yeah. And then the top 6, really no surprise. Ole Miss is 6, Georgia 5, Bama 4, Texas A&M at 3, and then the Big 10 behemoths, Indiana at 2, and Ohio State at number 1. So, oh. Sorry about that. I got garbage trying to show up on my phone. Let me take this off real quick. Okay. But anyway, here's your updated playoff poll. Surprises for me. Was a little surprised to see Iowa, but I'm glad they're there because I think they deserve to be there. I'm shocked Miami is as low as they are. I know they got 2 losses, but I also think the committee did it right. Utah, a little surprised to see them as high, but no complaints here. Overall thoughts, I thought this was pretty good. It's the first one. There's no need to flip out about it. This is going to change drastically. You're going to see over the rest of the season, this will change. But anyway, I think the committee did a good job on this poll. So that is your first college football playoff poll. All right, I need to take one more break, and when we come back, it's going to be time to do Saturday selections. I will make my picks for these games this coming weekend. We'll see you guys in a minute.
To hate, Andrew Anderson spitting truth that just can't wait. Got a podcast like a punch right to your face. College sports villain taking it over the place. I bring the facts whether you like it or not. Dropping truth bombs, giving it all I got. They call me a villain. Well, I wear that badge with pride. Nothing but secrets they try to hide. Hard rock in my veins, rebellious to the core. I won't back down, won't take it anymore. The bad guy of the podcast world, that's me. Unleashing the truth, setting it all free.
All right, guys, welcome back to 4th and 25 with J-Ram. All right, so before we get into the big game predictions, I have a few other games here. I don't have the graphics, but I'll go over them for you real quick. Thursday, I like this Georgia Southern App State game, Sun Belt matchup, two solid teams. I'm going to take App State to win that game. Friday night, Houston, UCF, good one in the Big 12. The line is actually a pick 'em. Houston better be careful. They just lost to West Virginia. They got exposed. UCF's going to be wanting to capitalize and make the pain even worse. I'm actually going to go with the upset here. I like UCF to win this football game at home. And then on Saturday, Colorado is at West Virginia. I got a feeling Colorado's in trouble, so I'm taking West Virginia to win this football game. Indiana, Penn State. Can Indiana keep it going? They're 15-point favorite. This is their chance. They rarely beat Penn State. If they're going to do it, this is it. I'm going to pick Indiana to win the game, but I don't. They're not going to win by 50. I don't think they'll win this one by 50. Georgia's at Mississippi State. That's an 11 a.m. kickoff. Georgia 7.5. Be careful, dogs. Georgia, be careful. Starkville's going to be ready for you, and Cowbell's going to be rocking. Mississippi State is riding a SEC win finally, but I am going to take Georgia to win the game. We got Temple and Army in American play. Temple trying to become bowl eligible. Army trying to get another win and get closer. Army's a 6.5-point favorite. Temple playing their best football in years. Casey Keeler doing a good job there. But I'm going to take Army to win this game at home. You got Missouri State at Liberty. Missouri State trying to get to 6-3. It'd have bowl hopes if there's not enough 6-win teams. Liberty impressed me though last week. Big day running the ball. They look like they're starting to find some strides. So I'm going to take Liberty to win this game. They're actually an 8-point favorite. La Tech at Delaware, another good one in Conference USA. La Tech's a 6-point favorite. I'm going to go with the ground game and the Bulldogs to get a road win. Iowa State's at TCU. Iowa State, as we said, 4-game losing streak. I'm going to take the Frogs to win this game. Give me TCU. Auburn at Vandy. Vandy's a 6.5-point favorite in this ball game. Auburn, of course, how are they going to play? Are they tuned out? Freeze is fired. They have an interim coach, DJ Durkin. Vandy's pissed off for the Texas loss. I'll take Vandy at home. Give me Vanderbilt. I think Auburn will play spirited, though, but give me Vanderbilt. Okay, now let's get to Saturday selections. And we're going to start with a Friday night game. We've got Memphis at Tulane. Friday night. This is a 8 p.m. ESPN kickoff. Memphis is favored, of course, by 5.5. Tulane got shellacked at UTSA last Thursday. Kind of shocked everybody. So here's the tale of the tape. Offensively, Memphis 36 total, Tulane 56. The passing game, they're both in the 70s. Rushing game, Tulane is 50th, Memphis is 26th. They're living by the run game this year, 200.6 a game. Scoring, Tulane's 83rd offensively, Memphis 15th at 37.7 points. Defensively, third down conversions, they're both solid. Tulane 34th, Memphis 43rd. Fourth down conversions, Tulane is bad, 110th at 41.7. Memphis is 13th at 71.4%. Defense. This is a little gap here. Tulane not playing defense really well. 402 yards a game allowed. That's 102nd, which they're also in pass defense. They're 89th against the run, 80th in scoring. Memphis has a solider defense, 51st total, 67th against the pass, 44th against the run, 29th in scoring. Penalties. Tulane is 68 yards a game in penalties. That's 121st in the country. That's not good. Memphis 31st at 45 yards a game in penalties. Both teams are in pluses and turnover margin. Tulane +1, Memphis +9. Tulane's defense on third down is bad, 112th, allowing 43.6 conversion rate. In the red zone, Tulane's defense 82nd, 86.2%. Memphis' offense 4th in the red zone at 97.4 scoring percent. So, like we said, 6-way tie across the American right now. These are 2-year contenders. Let's start separating a little bit. I like Memphis to win this football game. I'm going to take Memphis at home. I think it'll be a close one, but I'm going to take Memphis to win this football game. No helmets this week. I could have brought them in here, but due to time constraints, I'm just going to go ahead and get this done. So I like Memphis to win this football game, though. Give me Memphis over Tulane. Okay, next game. I don't normally do Sunbelt games on here, but let's do one. We got Southern Miss, who's 6-2, by the way. Congrats to Charles Huff. They're bowl eligible. Southern Miss heads to Arkansas State for a good game in the West Division. Southern Miss is a 4.5 point favorite. 11 a.m. kickoff. This is ESPNU telecast. All right, in the red zone, Southern Miss 20th in red zone defense, only allowing 76.7% scoring. The red zone offense of Arkansas State, 97th at 80%. Turnover margin, Southern Miss, the number one team in the country in turnover margin, plus 12. Wow, did not know that stat until I seen it. Memphis is 71st at -1. Neither team, time of possession, Southern Miss 119th, 28 minutes. 30 minutes and 33 seconds for Arkansas State, 56th. Now, offensively, let's look at Southern Miss. 62nd total, 51st, 54th passing, 75th rushing, 40th in scoring at 33 points per game. You look at the offense of Arkansas State, they're 83rd total, 61st passing, 98th rushing, ouch, and 98th in scoring. Third downs and fourth downs. Southern Miss is 74th on third down conversions, 75th on fourth down. Arkansas State's 76th on third down, so neither one of these teams very high in third down conversion rate. They're both in the 70s. Arkansas State 40th in fourth downs. Defensively, Arkansas State 107th in total, 82nd against the pass, really bad 112th against the run, 85th in scoring. And then Southern Miss's defense is 83rd total, 63rd against the pass, 100th against the run. Neither one of these teams can stop the run really well. 71st in scoring defense. So who can run the ball? Because they're both in the hundreds on run defense. Southern Miss statistically the better rushing attack. All right. So with that said, I am going to pick. I'm gonna pick the who I think's the hotter team and who I trust here. I'm gonna take Southern Mississippi. Give me Southern Miss to win this football game in Jonesboro on Saturday. I'm gonna take Southern Miss. All right. Next up, let's go to the big one. Top 10 showdown in Lubbock, Texas. We got BYU, we got Texas Tech. A battle of top 8 teams in the playoff rankings. This should be a dandy 11 a.m. ABC kickoff. Texas Tech a 10-point favorite in Lubbock. I'm going to miss those tortillas flying. Anyway, here's the tale of the tale. Let's look at the offenses. Texas Tech 5th in total offense, 14th passing, 24th rushing, 3rd in scoring at 43.6 a game. Much better than BYU, who's 34th total, 85th in pass offense, but they're 15th in rushing the ball, 216.6 a game. Scoring offense, BYU 19th. All right, conversions, third downs, BYU 63rd. They're 16th on fourth downs at 70%. Texas Tech solid on third down conversions at 49.3, 80th on fourth downs. Now, defensively, these are two solid defenses. Total defense, Texas Tech is 10th at 271.4 game allowed total offense. BYU's 27th. Pass defense, BYU 28th, Texas Tech 37th. Rush defense, BYU's 43rd. Texas Tech, number one rush defense in the country, 74.6 yards a game allowed. So here's your matchup. Texas Tech's run defense, BYU's rushing attack, because BYU's lived off the running game this year. Scoring defense, they're both in the top 16. BYU 16th, allowing 17 points a game. Texas Tech is 5th, allowing 13.2 points per game. So we got two solid defenses, and then we got a matchup of a BYU running game and Texas Tech's run defense. Turnover margin, both in the pluses, both in the top 10. You got BYU 5th at plus 10. Texas Tech is 10th at plus 8. Time of possession, they're both okay. BYU 20th at 32 minutes and 11 seconds. Texas Tech's 88th. Surprise. 29 minutes 13 seconds. BYU's offense efficient in the red zone, 20th in scoring, 91.9%. Third down defense, both are in the top 18. BYU 16th in third down defense, only allowing 31.7% conversions. Texas Tech 18th at 31.9. Okay, so after all that blabbering, here we go. I love this matchup. These are two really good teams, but I've been saying Texas Tech I thought was the best team in the league. I do think BYU was underappreciated for a while, but now they seem to be getting the respect. Would not be shocked if we see these two again, obviously, in the Big 12 championship. but I'm going with Texas Tech. Give me Texas Tech to win this football game on Saturday. And look, all right, moving on. We're going to move over to the Southeastern Conference. Into the Tigers Den. Nice poster, by the way. All right, so we got 2:30 ABC. We got Texas A&M and Missouri. SEC showdown. A&M is a touchdown favorite. Offensive tail. A&M 19th total offense. 34th passing, 23rd rushing, 11th in scoring, 37.8. Missouri's offense, 14th in total offense, 60th passing. They are 10th in rush offense, 235.5 a game. They, of course, have Lamont Hardy, the SEC's leading rusher in this football game, 24th in scoring. Third downs, Missouri is 13th at 50.9%. Texas A&M 47th. Fourth down conversions, A&M is 23rd. Missouri second in the country, 80%. But we'll get to, obviously, a key factor here in a minute. Total defense. Missouri is a stud on defense. They are 5th in total defense, 7th against the pass, 12th against the run, 13th against scoring. A&M's defense, 31st total, 44th against the pass, 33rd against the run, 60th in scoring. But still, not too shabby. All right, third down defense. Both these teams are in the top 5. Missouri is 5th in third down defense, allowing a 27.2 conversion rate. A&M, number 1 in the country, 22%. That's phenomenal. So A&M, the number 1 third down defense in the country. Penalty yards, Missouri's 53rd, 52.1 a game. A&M is 122nd at 67.1 a game. And then in the red zone, here's a matchup. A&M's defense allowing 96.2% scoring. That's 131st. Missouri's offense is 55th in the red zone, 87.2%. Time of possession. Both these teams keep the ball north of 30 minutes a game, 30 plus. A&M 19th at 32 minutes and 11 seconds. And then Missouri's third at 34 minutes and 44 seconds. Okay, so with all that said and done, I am going to pick, as y'all know, Missouri's quarterback, Brett Puvilla, is done for the season. He has an injury. Best well wishes to him. I think that's going to hurt Missouri in this football game. If he was playing, I would flirt with picking the upset, but I think Texas A&M is a really good football team, and I think they keep it rolling. So give me Texas A&M to go into Como and get a win on Saturday. I like A&M to win this football game. All right, next up, let's go to the Big Ten. 2:30 CBS. Oh boy, Oregon at Iowa. Both are in the top 20 as you've seen the poll. Oregon a 6-point favorite. So here's the tale of the tale. Offensively, we know who the better offense is. This is not even the discussion. Oregon is 9th in total offense, 483.9 a game, 52nd passing, 9th in rushing offense, 237 a game, number 5 in scoring, 41.3 a game. Iowa's offense, oh boy, 121st total, 132nd passing, but respectable 37th in rushing offense at 185.3 yards per game, scoring 31.3 points. Conversions, third downs, Oregon's 18th in third down conversion rate. Iowa's 33rd. Fourth downs, Oregon 23rd. Iowa's 16th at 70% to the Hawkeyes' credit. Total defense, both these defenses are really, really strong. Total defense, both are in the top 4. Iowa's the number 2 defense in the country, allowing 234.9 a game. Oregon's 4th at 239.4. Pass defense, both in the top 5. Iowa's 5th at 151 yards a game. Oregon, the number 1 pass defense in college football. Oregon's allowing only 124.6 a game through the air. Very impressive for Dan Lanning's group. Rush defense, Iowa's 10th, 83.9 yards a game. Oregon's 30th, 114.8. And then finally, scoring defense, both are in the top 6. Oregon is 6th, allowing 13.5 points a game, or Iowa's 4th at 13.1. Oregon's defense on third downs, 10th in the country, allowing 30.3% conversions. Turnover margin, they both are at +5, 23rd in the country. Penalty yards a game, both these teams very disciplined football teams. Oregon 21st at 40.9 yards a game. Iowa, the number one team in the country in penalty yards at only 22.9 per game. That's discipline. All right. And then finally, red zone defense. Oregon, 135th in the red zone, about 100% scoring. Iowa's offense in the red zone, 10th, 94.1%. So if you're Iowa, who is known for bad offense, minus the running game, if you can get in the red zone, you got a shot here. I like this one. The weather could be a factor. It sounds like the forecast doesn't sound too good for Saturday for the game. It might be a sloppy game. It could be an ugly game. I think this game plays right into Iowa's hands. This is an Iowa football game with an Iowa upset written all over it. I think with the running game, I think the defense makes a big late stop. I like Iowa. Iowa is my upset pick this week, I guess. Iowa knocks off Oregon. All right. Next up, keep rolling along. We still got a few games to do. All right. This next game in the Big 12 bowl eligibility on the line. I think this can be a fun one still. We got Kansas, Arizona. It's homecoming week in Tucson. Arizona 4.5 point favorite. This is a 2:30 ESPN2 telecast. Uh, Kansas, bleh, offensively 68th total, 69th passing, 68th rushing, 52nd scoring. Arizona 45th total offense, 30th passing with Noah Fafita, 78th rushing, and 31st in scoring offense. As far as third downs, both teams are not too sporty. Kansas 109th in third down conversions. Arizona 92nd. Both okay on fourth downs. Arizona 40th at 61.9. Kansas 47th. All right, and then on defense, Kansas 87th total, 64th against the pass, 101st in run defense, allowing 170 a game. So Kansas is struggling to stop the running game. 76th in scoring defense. Arizona's defense, statistically, not bad. I did not know this. They are 15th in total defense, 6th against the pass, only allowing 155.3 a game. So shout out to Arizona. 55th against the run, 28th in scoring. And their third down defense is 35th in the country, allowing 34.7% conversions. Turnover margin, Kansas is even, 70th in the country. Arizona +8 in turnover margin, which is 10th best in the country. And then Kansas 26th in penalty yards, 40.6 a game. Okay. So Kansas had lost to K-State, but did manage to come back and beat Oklahoma State. I think this is going to be a fun game. I think there could be some scoring or there could be some stops. But somebody's going to punch their ticket to a bowl game at least here. So with that said, I'm going to go with who I think's the better team. And I like Arizona. Give me Arizona to knock off Kansas on Saturday and join the bowl eligible club. All right, next up, let's move. I cannot believe this game is not on a bigger network, but when your combined record is 7-9, what do you expect? We got Florida State at Clemson. I'm still picking it. I just can't help myself. Florida State 4-4, Clemson 3-5. Clemson 2-point favorite. 6 o'clock ACC network telecast. Okay, so Florida State's offense is still pretty strong. 510.5 yards a game, first, 28th in pass offense. 241.3 a game rushing, which is 8th best. 40 points a game, which is 7th best. They're 6th on third down conversions at 53.2%. Fourth downs at 49th at 60%. You flip over to Clemson's offense. They are 41st total, 13th passing, abysmal 109th at rushing, 123.8 yards a game, 70th in scoring at 28.4 a game. 85th in third down conversions and 58th on fourth down. So Clemson's been struggling to make conversions on certain downs. All right, you flip over to the defensive side. Florida State's not bad. 26 total, 43rd against the pass, 28th against the run, 33rd scoring. Clemson is stunningly bad. 54th total, 103rd against the pass. Good grief. 20th against the run. It's not bad, though. And 64th in scoring. So both teams at least in the 20s in run defense. Better rush offense is Florida State easily. Turnover margin for Clemson -5, 114th in the country. In the red zone, offensively, Florida State's 34th, scoring on 89.7% of their trips. Clemson's red zone defense is putrid, 93rd, giving up 86.4% scoring. Okay. So with the way this season has gone, I really don't know who I'm taking in this game. Obviously, playing at Clemson doesn't matter as much. I think Clemson's going to be angry. I think Norvell knows his seat's getting kind of warm. Give me Clemson. I'm going to say a bounce back. For the bounce back, I'm going to take Clemson to win the football game. Give me Clemson. All right, next up, let's keep it rolling. We ain't got much more. Wake Forest and Virginia, a big one in the ACC. 6 o'clock ESPN. I would have thought this would be an ESPN game. Virginia, 6.5 point favorite. They're 8-1 in the thick of the playoff race. Wake Forest is a surprising 5-3, trying to become bowl eligible. By the way, that's a cool poster. Nice job to UVA. Total offense, Virginia, 439 a game, 27th best. They're 45th passing, 34th rushing, 18th in scoring, 16th in third down conversions, 96th in fourth downs. You look at Wake Forest offensively, 75th total, 65th passing, 85th rushing, 90th scoring, 98th on third downs, 75th on fourth downs. And then on defense, this is the matchup. Both these defenses, not bad. Wake is 33rd at 325.1 a game allowed offensively. Virginia's 45th. Pass defense, Wake Forest with a big edge here, 32nd at 191.3 yards per game. Virginia struggling to stop the pass at 88th at 231.8 per game. Rush defense, Wake is 49th. Virginia 26th, only allowed 111.9 a game. And then scoring defense, 21.8 a game for Wake. They're 41st. Virginia's 52nd at 22.2 points per game. Turnover margin, Wake is 97th at -3. Virginia's 10th in the country at +8. Penalty yards per game, Wake, very penalized team, 134th at 74.8 a game. Virginia 37th, 47 yards a game. Red zone offense, Wake is 134th, only scoring on 67.9% of their trips. Virginia's defense, not too great, 85.7% of the red zone, 81st. Time of possession, Wake Forest 95th at 29.03. Vandy's Virginia 26th at 31.51. Okay, so with that said, Wake's an improved story, but Virginia's at home, tough place to play. I think the offense will be too much for Wake Forest. So give me the Virginia Cavaliers to win this football game and go to 9-1 and keep their dream alive of winning the ACC and getting to the playoff. All right, next up, we got 4 games we left. Yeah, 4 to go. I wasn't going to do this one. This one's probably going to be ugly on the eyes, but dang it, it's so bad possibly. It could be so bad, it could be good. I can't talk too much because one of them two comes to Oxford next week. Florida's at Kentucky. They're both 3-5. Gators 3-point favorite. 6:30 SEC Network. Time of possession. Kentucky 23rd at 32.03. Florida is 40th at 30.59. In the red zone offensively, Florida 17th, 92.3% scoring. Kentucky's red zone defense is 88th, allowing 86.2% scoring. Kentucky 117th turnover margin, -6. 23rd in penalty yards, 42.9. So semi-disciplined Mark Stoops team. Now the tail of the tape. Offensively, this is ugly. Kentucky's 102nd in total offense. Florida's 97th. Passing offense, Florida 73rd. Kentucky 95th. I think that's right. Yeah, 95th. Rush offense, Florida's 104th. Kentucky's 81. Both are in the hundreds in scoring. Florida's averaging 22.1 a game. Kentucky's averaging 22.4. Third down conversions, Florida is 129th at 30.7%. Kentucky's 58th at 41.1. Fourth downs, they're both in the hundreds. They're bad. Total defense. All right, defense. Florida 43rd total, 70th against the pass, 35th rush, 32nd in scoring at 20.5 a game. Kentucky's defense 65th total, 94th pass, 44th against the run, 86th in scoring. So I guess the question is which offense is going to be less bad and which defense will be better? I think Florida's the more talented team still, the better athletes. I will take the Florida Gators. So I think Florida will go in here and I think they win this football game and knock off the Kentucky Wildcats. All right, let's move to a game that we thought was going to be much bigger than this, but it's still being played. Saturday night, 6:30, ABC, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, LSU, Alabama. Alabama 9.5-point favorite. Here comes the Tigers in with an interim head coach and a lot of other problems. So here's the tail of the tape. LSU 95th in total offense, 50th throwing, 124th rushing, 84 scoring, 77th in third down conversions, which is 39%. They're ninth in fourth down conversions at 75%. Alabama's offense, 50th total, 15th passing the ball. That's what their bread and butter. Alabama only 118.9 yards a game rushing, which is 114th in the country. But they also are capable of breaking off big runs. They just don't run it as much. They're 30th in scoring, 17th in third down conversions, 29th in fourth down. Then you flip over to their defenses. Bama is allowing 312.8 total offense, 24th. They're 12th against the pass, which is good, 72nd against the run, 20th in scoring. Florida's defense, 35th total, 31st against the pass, 51st against the rush, and scoring defense 22nd for LSU. LSU still statistically a solid defense. So, turnover margin, Bama 8th in the country, +9. Red zone offense, LSU's 82nd, 82.8% scoring. Alabama's defense in the red zone is 8th best, allowing 70% scoring. Time of possession, Bama's 12th at 32.49, LSU 68th at 30.01. Okay, so with that said, LSU will play this game spirited. You're going to get a good effort from LSU. I think you're going to get a good fight from Frank Wilson's club. But there's so much distraction, and Alabama's just so good. Alabama knows what they got to do, and I think they keep it going here. So, in a good game, but I think too much. Give me Alabama over LSU. I like the Tide to win this football game. All right, next up, two more games, and we're just gonna get out of here. We've got Fox at 8 o'clock. We've got Nebraska at UCLA. The line is now UCLA by 1.5. Nebraska, 66th in total offense, 42nd passing, 94th rushing, 40th in scoring, 35th in third down conversions, an abysmal 121st in fourth downs, 37.5%. UCLA's offense, 104th total, 110th passing, 62nd rushing, 115th scoring, 93rd on third downs, 40th on fourth downs. Defense. This is where Nebraska's going to have to win this game. Their defense is going to have to win it for them, more than likely. They are 13th in total defense, the number 2 pass defense behind Oregon at 128.3 a game, 96th in run defense, 27th scoring. UCLA 79th in total defense, 24th against the pass, an abysmal 126th in run defense, 114th in scoring. Third down defense, Nebraska, one of the better ones in the country, 24th at 32.8% conversions. Turnover margin, Nebraska -2, 90th best. UCLA +3 at 40th best. Penalty yards per game, Nebraska very undisciplined, 133rd at 74.6 a game. UCLA's 25th at 43.8. Red zone defense, UCLA is 120. I'm sorry, Nebraska's 128th at 94.7. UCLA's offense in the red zone, one of the better ones in the country, 6th in the red zone, 95.8% scoring. So, if Dylan Raiola played, this would probably not be too difficult for me. But that offense just did not look in sync without him against USC. I'm taking UCLA. Give me UCLA to win this football game. All right, final game, and we got one more game to go for you guys. We're gonna actually do a Mountain West game, a late Mountain West game. We're gonna do a game at Hawaii. We've got San Diego State 7-1 at 5-3 Hawaii. Aztecs are a 7-point favorite. This is a 10 o'clock kickoff on Spectrum Sports. If you have that, more power to you. But anyway, Aztecs, Warriors, offensively. San Diego State, not a great offense. 84th total, 112 passing, 36 rushing the ball, not bad at 185.3 a game. They can run the ball. 66th in scoring, 119th in third downs, 62nd on fourth down. Hawaii, 52nd in total offense, but the number 6 passing offense, 307.6 a game, 127th in rush offense, scoring offense, 60th, 29.7. Third downs, they're 31st in third down conversions, 33rd in fourth downs. Defense. Hawaii 60th in total, 74th against the pass, 48th against the run, 80th in scoring. So Hawaii defensive issues, but San Diego State's defense is elite. This is one of the most elite defenses in college football. I know they play in a G5 league, but with the way the game is now, to put up numbers like they have on defense, golf clap. San Diego State's defense, sixth in total defense, allowing 247.5 yards a game. Eighth against the pass, 155.6 a game allowed. 13th against the run, 91.9 allowed per game, rushing yards. And they're allowing 10 points a game. 10 points. Defenses hardly do that anymore with the way the sport is. But anyway, second in scoring defense, allowing 10 points per game. Turnover margin, San Diego State at a +6. They're 19th. Hawaii's 119th at -7. Red zone offense. Um, Hawaii is fifth in the red zone, scoring on 97% of their trips. Third down defense, they're 49th at 36.7% conversions. Time of possession, 31-22 for the Aztecs, 34th best. Hawaii's 10th at 32-53. I'm going to go with the better defense and the running game, and I think San Diego State stays alive for the G5 playoff spot. Give me San Diego State to win this football game at Hawaii. I like the Warriors. All right, so that is a rundown. That is my predictions for the weekend. That is all the games that I was going to pick. I went through a bunch of them, I think. But anyway, that is a wrap for those. So before we go out of here, let me pull up my Bible verse of the day. Also, I wasn't going to talk about this on this show, but I'm going to talk about it real quick. Unless you live under a rock, you know about the YouTube TV Disney dispute that's going on over like carriage rights and asking prices and everything. You probably already know about this, but I'm just going to give you my opinion on this real quick. I want to give a shout out to YouTube TV because it seems like they're fighting for the people to not get overpriced and have to pay too much. They're trying to fight for us customers. But at the same time, Disney sounds like a bunch of greedy jerks who are just wanting to get every penny they can out of people. So, with that said, my thing is this. I could cuss, I could flip the bird and lose my mind and act stupid, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to say this. Get your crap together. Disney, YouTube, get to the table. Get this situated because you're losing money. You've got a lot of angry customers. You've already had people canceling subscriptions. If I didn't have NFL Sunday Ticket, I would have done canceled YouTube TV. Please get your crap together and get a deal done. There's a lot of people who are very, and I don't normally say this word, but I'm going to, that are pissed off right now about this. Get your crap together. All right. Now, with that said, Proverbs 16:9, a man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. Lord, please direct my steps. I need you, Lord. Please direct my steps. And don't let your heart fool you. My heart has fooled me before. I can't follow my heart. I follow the Lord. Thank you guys so much for watching my show. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for the love, the 3 love emojis or things. But anybody that tuned in, even if you stayed for 5 seconds, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're going to work on getting this show launching as a brand. We're going to try to get to Instagram and TikTok and these other platforms before long because I just love to sit here and talk college football with you guys. Appreciate y'all so much. Hope you have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there. Take care and God bless.